I done now? This is not right. This is not good. This is weird and stretchy and wrong. What have I done now? That's still weird and stretchy and wrong. This is weird and stretchy and wrong. What rotate. Have I done now? Clockwise? It's still weird and stretchy and wrong. No, hold on. No. Rotate. Have I done now? Clockwise? Clockwise. Oh, no. And rotate clockwise again. Rotate. And it's all. There we go. Right, okay. Nearly there. Transform. Fit to screen. Yes. And it's all. Okay. That's okay. It's frozen. Okay. Nearly there. It's frozen. Transform. Fit to screen. It's disappeared. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. That's it's frozen. The wrong camera. It's frozen. Transform. Fit to screen. It's disappeared. Brilliant. Yes. That's it's frozen. The wrong camera. It's frozen. Okay. Right. It's disappeared. Think I'm back. That's it's frozen. The wrong camera. Why is that making noise? Right. It's disappeared. Sorry. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what was making a noise. Oh fuck! I was playing my own stream over the top of my own stream. Oh, right. Okay. Start again. Hello. Everything is fine. Everything is calm. But what is not fine and what is not calm is this. And this is gonna suffer for its misbehaviour. I've already lost the little metal bit that fell on the floor, went straight down between a floorboard and another floorboard, so that's gone. This is gonna have to be taken apart, so I'm going to clear a bit of space. This is off. This poor computer, it was going to do some fun stuff today, and the modern thing ruined it for it. So let's undo all of this. Let's take this out of the way. There we go. Whoops, that's headphones. Smashy. Right, move this out of the way. So, impromptu stream. What is inside a flash ROM programmer? So what have we got here? We've got a bunch of quite meaty Phillips. I'm going to move the camera down. I'm way too far away. There we go. Right. Yeah. I'm going to open this up. And we're going to teach you a lesson. Although what I'm hoping when I do this is that we're going to take this off and we're going to see a very nice little circuit board, and we're going to see a very easy to desolder. I finally found another screw. Oh, I think it was magnetised to this. Whatever. Right, let's do things nicely so we don't lose things. There we go. I'll just drop that anyway. Fuck it. Right. Yeah, I'm going to take this apart, and with a bit of luck, that socket that's broken on the back is going to be really easy to access and really easily desolderable. Yeah, that's fine. And then what I can do is I can jump on Amazon or eBay, and instead of buying a whole new programmer, because as much as this thing has pissed me off, it does work okay-ish. It's never caused me too many problems. And we're going to see if I can get the replacement socket, and if I can, I'll order one, and I will just desolder the old one and fit a new one. But in the meantime, I'm going to take this apart, and I thought I might as well stream it because it gets what it deserves. Cool. Ooh, hello. So we're on we've got like a little mezzanine board here, a little daughter board. That's unexpected, although I suppose it's a good way of rising it up away from the main board. Well, this is pretty cool, because I should be able to just ease that off. I'm going to get a screwdriver onto that socket because it feels a little bit too tight. too tight. In fact, let's take it out of... Oh, that was easy. Right, so what I'm going to do is just get a screwdriver in under the socket along those pins there and just ease it up. This is where the board suddenly goes crack and the whole thing breaks in half. And I go, oh fuck it, I'm going to buy a whole new one then. I need to find out what the terms of service are like for swearing and stuff on streams. Because I swear a lot at the best of times. I swear an awful lot when things don't quite go right. Oh, look at that. Right, I'll have a little peek at this. So what have we got? We've got a USB port. We've got a barrel jack. Oh, we've got a very wonky USB port. Or is that just... No, it's alright. It's just a funny angle. Yeah, USB power adapter for extra oomph if needed. Bunch of pins. Blah, blah, blah. Chips. What are the chips? Altera. I like how some CPU or some processor manufacturers can sort of sound like prog rock bands or something, or hair metal bands. Altera. And Cypress, that's going to be a Cypress something or other. CY76 blah 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 blah. STC. Couple of MOSFETs for power regulation stuff. Bunch of this. I don't really understand this stuff. I can point to them and say that's a what's it and that's another thingy, but I don't really know how that works. I just hit things with sticks and soldering irons. Well, that's good. This is good news. Look at that. We've just got a bunch of solder blobs there to remove, bunch there, and then this whole ZIF socket will come away. And we can leave these sockets in, these bits intact and just replace this bastard. Promising. Right, okay. I might even do that now. Why not? But what I'm going to do first is, how many pins is this? This is... And now I don't have to count them because it says right there, 40. We've got a 40 pin ZIF. Let me just have a little pop on Amazon, have a little look. Might as well share my desktop while I'm doing that. Amazon 40 pin ZIF socket, and they're usually made by 3M. £1.74 on eBay. I don't mind that at all. How about Amazon? Currently unavailable. How about this one? Nah. Amazon. Oh, hold on. An Adafruit one. Ooh. Tenner. It's a fair bit more expensive than our eBay guy there. Oh, well, so they're all. Have we got an underneath view actually? Okay, let's see with the chip in. Yeah, lovely, very well done. Okay, that looks a lot like that. Oh, my fucking camera's rotating again. So what happened when my stream finished before was OBS crashed, which was, I'm not gonna lie, it was dispiriting. No, is that right? No, that's wrong. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because I had everything set up absolutely lovely, but I have watched enough people on Twitch and stuff to know that OBS is a fickle creature that does not cooperate sometimes. So yeah, anyway, right. Anyway, what was I doing? Sorry, got sidetracked by a wonky video frame thing there. I was looking at the desktop and I was looking at the ZIF socket. Sorry, there we go, right. So that thing there, it looks like it's got the pins in the right place for this to be soldered on in place at that. So what I'll do is I'll probably pick up one of those, either that one or the eBay one, and I will just remove this guy. I might as well do that now because, well, I've not done any soldering on a stream before, and I might as well do it when the stakes are low. And the stakes are not much lower than when you're messing around with a broken programmery thingy. So, I don't even think I'm going to need my grabby thing. I don't think that's going to be needed because it lays flattish. Let's see how I get on. Right, the mat, flux. Flux is a cheat code for soldering. If soldering doesn't work, put flux on it and then it starts working. Bit of fresh solder in case. Soldering iron. Oh, I've got one of these, haven't I? I've got a desoldering gun. I'm going to use that. Desoldering gun. It's not really a gun. You can get fancy ones that. So yeah. Hot bit. Put hot bit on shiny bit. Push that down, and when the shiny bit goes wet, and off it's gone. We're going to do that, but we're still going to need flux. I'll take that away because if that gets too hot, it'll probably explode because it's full of like propane or whatever. I'm going to see if I can zoom you in a bit. There we go. Easy. Easy. Right. That's not bad. Yeah. So these guys we're going to take out. Those ones and those ones. And we're going to use a lot of flux. So what flux basically does is solder melts best when the heat gets through into it as quickly as possible. And what flux does is as the flux heats up, it kind of removes all of the contaminants that have built up on the solder over, or since it was manufactured. And if you take away the contaminants, then the heat transfers through a lot quicker. Whoa, look at that! I've just noticed. Are they broken? Maybe they're not connected or something, but those 3 pins there look a bit dodgy, but obviously they're how they're meant to be, but don't like the look of them. Right, fluxed. This should be hottish. I can give it a little test. Put a bit of this on the end. Oops. Very difficult to do when I'm looking at the camera for some reason. If I look directly at it, it's fine. I can tell what I'm doing. But if I look at the monitor, I can't really see what I'm doing. It's kind of, yeah, it's nearly there. Right. See what happens. Right, close. Don't think we're quite hot enough yet. There we go. Yeah, can you see that first pin there has now got a little bit of a space around it? I'd run through and do them all like as a first run. Did I miss one just then? I think I did. Having to give it a bit of a wiggle because the aperture on that is kind of far too big for the size of the holes I'm dealing with. But if you just wiggle it around, then it gets the hot bits where it's meant to be, and just melts the solder. This is the kind of shit where if I was doing a YouTube video, I'd be doing that thing where you fast forward and do some Benny Hill music or something. But instead, because it's live, I just have to ramble on while doing this. Do. I think I'll do it 40 times, plus or minus a few, because not all of these will let go straight away. I'm regretting not sorting out a fan, because you're not really meant to inhale gobfuls of flux fumes, but once or twice won't hurt, he says. Okay, how's that look? That's not too shabby. We might have a couple that are still stuck, but that probably is going to come out okay. Let's do the other side. I mean, actually, thinking about it, I don't think this this programmer was not a dirt cheap programmer. This isn't the sort of thing that I want to kind of let go. I mean, some things when they break, you're like, okay, it worked a couple of times. It was only a £5. It is what it is. But this was pretty decent. So if I can save it for a couple of quid, that would be great. There's a Twitch, and I don't know if he does Twitch actually, but he definitely has a YouTube channel. There's a guy called Mark Fixes Stuff, and I think his YouTube channel is called Mark Fixes Stuff. And basically, he's a guy called Mark. What he does is he fixes stuff, and he makes incredibly well produced. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself for taking such a long time to get to that point. He does very, very well produced videos of him doing things like fixing stuff like this. And actually, funnily enough, his most recent video was him actually, I think he was building an EEPROM programmer, basically one of these from scratch, rather than trying to repair one. He was building one from scratch, which was pretty cool. But he's done everything. He's you name an old computer or a TV or something like that, and he's taken it apart and fixed it. And what I love about his videos is that he gets it wrong. He gets it wrong just as often as, like, you know, he just as often as I would, if not. Well, no, I would always get it wrong more. But you know, he's not afraid of messing up, basically. And I think that's nice, especially when you're doing it in front of people. Okay. Not all of those came off quite as well as the other row, which was a little bit disappointing. So I think we're still stuck on one or two of them. Oh yeah, I think I might have actually skipped one entirely there. Okay, how's that look? Oh, sorry. I was holding it away from the camera. Not there yet. I think this one might be still holding on. And I think... Right, I'm just going to pop that down there and try not to set fire to anything. And I'm just going to... Yeah, is anything melting? Might be. Let's rest it over here instead. Not a big fan of things that don't come with their own stands. It annoys me a little bit, but... Yeah, okay. Okay, we're loose up to a point. Is that actually coming out, or is that just lifting the plastic casing? Yeah, it might just be lifting the plastic casing. And actually lifting that casing off wouldn't be such a bad idea, because as in removing this and just leaving the metal prongs, because that way I can take them out one by one rather than trying to get all of them desoldered at the same time, which might be a bit of a struggle. Right, okay. I'm gonna unplug the desoldery what's it. I don't think that's quite getting us where we want to be. I'm going to use this. There we go. Bit of fire. Never hurt anyone. What could possibly go wrong? Can make it nice and hot. I'm going to use this, which is desoldering braid. And what should happen, and what does happen, is, pardon me, you pop this over the top of the solder joints you want to free up, and you get it hot, and the copper wicks away the solder, and hopefully frees it all up. We're going to slap on a lot more flux though, because like I say, you kind of really can't ever have too much flux. I mean, you can not wash it off, which is a problem. You've got to wash it off afterwards. Even the no cleans. This stuff is technically no clean flux, which means it should be safe to leave on a board without causing corrosion. But yeah, it doesn't cause corrosion, but it's sticky and horrible, so we don't want that. So I will give it a clean up afterwards. Let's get that out of the way. It's never a good idea to go. It's never a good idea to go in dry. Wink, wink. It's never a good idea to go in with a completely sort of just hot but not tin soldering iron, because the heat doesn't transfer. So we'll just pop a little bit on there, and then hopefully this will start coming good. Okay. One of the things I always find myself doing with soldering braid is you have to take the braid and the iron away at the same time, because otherwise what happens is if you take the iron away before you've lifted the braid up, you end up just soldering the braid to the joint, and that is like I nearly did there. That's really annoying. Just give it a good poke it. I know that I'm using a very hot iron right now, but I prefer to sort of be hot and quick, so to speak. So not use a lot of heat, but not keep it touched on there for too long. It's, for some reason it kind of smells of swimming pools. Oh no, don't tell me I've run out of this. I think there's... Oh, Joe, I think I have. Well, shit. Isn't it just a great day for doing some desoldering and stuff? Although in fairness, it's not really picking an awful lot out. Well, I can feel the pins moving, so that is at least something. I think we're a fair bit freer on that side now, so let's try again with the other side. And I know I should be using fresh bits of the braid for these joints, but I don't have any more braid left, so it is what it is. That kind of squeaky noise is a good noise. The squeaky noise, if you can hear it, I don't know if you can, but the squeaky noise is the sound of the pin moving around in the little... Oh yeah, look at that. That was good. I might turn this down just a little bit because it's getting a bit overexcited. Getting a bit much. Do-do. Yeah, I'm getting a bit too much solder left on the braid now, so I'm kind of putting it back on instead of taking it off. Which is not what we wanted to do. Right, okay. Have a look at that. That's not bad, is it? They all look pretty clear. Pin 1, 2 and 3 at the bottom. These ones don't look too great. Those ones there. Let me give them another go. Although it's funny, they kind of look okay. They look okay from here, where I'm looking now, but they don't look okay on the camera, which is odd. Maybe it's just the angle or whatever. Right, let's have another little look. Oh, my watch is dinging at me for congratulations for being sat down for so long, or something like that. Oh, you bastard. He's coming. Oh, look at it. Come on, mate, what's holding you? What's holding you? Aha. Right, okay. If I keep that in there, if I keep a bit of pressure on there and just run these across. Right, I'm going to give the desol. No, I'm not. I'm going to use more flux. Ooh, hold on. Yes. I think I have more braid. Yes, I do. And with some of my hair attached to it. Glorious. That's what we need. Human hair on our desoldering braid. I think this is slightly thicker stuff as well, so it'll be a little bit easier to work with. Yeah, we're still getting solder out the hole. Let's just turn that up a little bit. Because the other thing as well with using the desoldering braid is you're trying to push the heat through the braid as well as into the solder, and you don't want to hold the hot braid against or push the hot braid against the joint for too long. So you kind of want to get the heat through it as fast as possible. So it's always worth having a slightly hotter iron than just regular soldering. It'd help if I had a thicker point on the iron as well, because I'm not doing anything particularly fine, but I've got quite a fine point, which means that the heat doesn't transfer in as quick. So you do end up having to turn the temperature up. Not ideal, but if this was if I was taking something out of an old computer right now, I'd be being a little bit more careful. I'd get my old brother-in-law to do it. Because he's a bit handier. He's had a fair bit more practice, to be fair. You can't really see. You can kind of see in the video that it's picking up plenty of silver off of there, which is the solder, obviously. Let's see if that's helped release that side. I keep taking it away, don't I? Okay, I'm just going to go back over it again because there's not much else to be done. What I should be doing is I should have my iPad looking at something that will Let me talk to people if they're there. Kind of therapeutic, I suppose. There was a so I've not streamed anything about it yet, but I've got a machine that's an old Atari Falcon 030, and they were the last Ataris that were made and designed, and they were sort of early 90s, 1993 designs, and you know how like we sort of take for granted that computers know what the time is. So they've all got, even when you unplug them, they still know what the time is. So if you were to open up your PC, you'd see a little coin battery in there, just doing that function of keeping the time and things like that. The Falcon doesn't have that. What it has is it's got a chip which has got a clock inside, so it stores the time, keeps track of time. And the battery is actually built inside that chip. So it's a big block of plastic with the clock circuit and a built-in battery. And of course, these machines have been stuck up in people's lofts for 30 odd years, and that battery's gone dead. And unfortunately, the machine won't work without valid data in the clock. So you have to desolder that chip and replace it with a separate clock circuit and battery combination. But that chip is a nightmare to remove. Absolute nightmare. I mean, this is just 40 pins. I don't know what I'm making such a big meal out of here, but that Falcon one is impressively hard. Oh, do not lift the pad. Come on, there you go. Cool. Coming in. So close. I am going to break this apart, because if I do that, I can get to the pins easier. Aha. Yeah, let's do that. Because it's busted already. Oh, look at this. Yeah, they're coming away on their own now. Excellent. I think maybe there's something in there holding it in place other than the solder on the other side. So, oh, this is all good. Look at this. Oops. Not quite sure why I was being so delicate, because I don't want to keep this. I keep this socket, so sockets do tend to be easier if you break them apart as you desoldering them. Look at this. Look at it. Nearly. Please tell me I was doing that on camera and I wasn't just over here somewhere doing that. Okay, I should have looked up. But we're off. Look at that, and that looks pretty clean. Got a couple of little bits. So what I'm going to do now is just clean this up, and if I put it back together again, then when it comes to it, when I get my replacement, I can just solder that in. See what I was saying about the not leaving flux behind? That's what you get if you leave flux even if it's no clean flux. You get that kind of white, weird stuff. But we're not going to do that because we're going to do this properly. So what do we need? We need... These are brilliant, by the way. I love these. Don't actually drink isopropyl alcohol though. It is deadly. Not in like a general. This is how British people talk about alcohol. It actually will kill you. So we're going to clean this up. Let's get my cloth and drop where that was on the floor. Doobie-doo. Give it a clean and we'll see if there's anything else that needs just desoldering. If there's any mucky bits in there, we can clean those up with the solder braid just to open the holes up if need be. Yeah, I can see there's one there already. What I'll probably use actually is a sucker. Let's put the sucker back on. Right. Yes. Okay. Clean this up. Yeah, look at this. So shiny. Much better. See, look, what's going on there? What's this one about? Have to get that on there and there. Yeah, there's a couple of pins which I didn't do too well on. Yeah. Like I say, if this was that Atari Falcon I was talking about, I would be treating it with the utmost of care. But I mean, to be honest, push came to shove, I could replace that whole board. It's just a connector with some pins on it. Right. Oops. Let's run this over here. So what have we got? We've got. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that doesn't make this look too good, but it really helps me. So sorry about that. Quite hot enough yet? Do 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 do. Go on, heat up. This one needs clearing. Not there yet. What have we got? Duratol. 220 to 240. Well, that's good because my house is about 256 volts for some reason. We have very spicy electricity in this house. And 40 watt isn't that great, so. Right, go on. Oh, it's coming. It's looking, yep. Trying to get enough heat in there so that when you pull the trigger. Oh yeah, look at that. That's lovely. Sorry. Sorry, smashing the place up. I don't know if you can see very well. There we go. Oh, actually, that's quite a decent view. Oh, I can use that view myself, actually. So what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, fifth in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little bit clogged. Better. And then down here. Yep, and the one next door. It's still got a little bit in there. Let's do it from the other side. That would do. Then let's do the top row. This one's a bit of a problem. Give it a little touch with this. Close. Quite. There we go. Maybe once more on there. Yeah, that's all right, isn't it? Look at that. We blocked slightly. Yeah, let's do this pin as well. A bit more. Yeah. Lovely. Well, I think that's ready for a new socket to be fitted, I think. Excellent. Last clean up, and then I can put it back in its case and look at ordering myself a replacement. Pardon me, excuse me. Do not burp into the microphone. Even tells you which way round to put it. How lovely is that? What I'll do before I put it away is just measure the pitch between the two rows, just in case the ziffs come in different configurations. Because I want to make sure I get the right socket. I've bought enough of the wrong thing over the years. Wasted so much money, you think. Going, oh right, sorry, that was a 2.54mm pitch instead of a 1 point whatever blah, blah, blah pitch thing. So I'm going to make sure I get the right thing. Plonk that back on there. Yeah, it's the right way up. Ruler. Ruler. Don't need any fancy digital calipers. I have them, but I don't think I need them. What are we talking about there? We're talking about... Oops. Yeah, they probably call that a 1.5 or 15mm pitch, don't they? Yeah. It's probably 15. Centre to centre. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I need a 15mm pitch with, what are they? That's just standard. That's just yeah, that's like 2.54 or something. That's default. That's fine. 15mm dip ziff socket to replace this piece of crap, which I'm going to take great joy now of throwing in the bin. Because if this had worked, we'd have been looking at a nice little BBC Micro, doing a little bit of interneting. There were oh, sorry. Always do that. Start a sentence, then roll away from the microphone. Yeah, there are websites where they basically recreate the whole teletext experience, such as it was experience, where you can sort of use what we were going to build today and connect to these telnet sites and look through pages and get the news and things like that. And some places have so the teletext pages are actually often still recorded on VHS tapes from the 80s and 90s, actually the 70s, 80s and 90s. So you can usually reclaim a lot of pages from them, and websites have put those back together so you could browse the news as if it was 28th of January 1982 or something like that. But then some places have got, someone's written a script that will basically parse through the BBC News website and build a dynamic teletext server. So you can hook up a teletext receiver like the BBC to it, and yeah, and show people how we used to get the news back in the 80s and 90s. I like teletext. I liked it was Channel 4 that had the digitizer service with Gossie the dog and Mr. Biffo. It all sounds really silly now. It sounds like someone describing Viz or something. Ow, hot. It is off, hasn't cooled down. It's really silly and it is cheesy and it's daft, but it's one of those 90s things where you look at it now and you think no one would ever do that now. They would be fired. They would be fired before they could publish the first page. Everything that appears on that service would have been checked and vetted and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's probably better than it's good that sort of stuff is checked and is a bit more professional these days. But there was a brief period where there was all this crazy sort of ability to talk to a mass market, and it wasn't really all that regulated. They pissed off so many people. They pissed off basically the entire every single computer manufacturer and games industry thing, and every technology company. They just pissed off. They were pretty hated, but everyone read it because they were so. It was the irreverence of it. You had to read it. There was no point buying a copy of like ST or Amiga format. You saw what Mr. Biffo thought on Digitizer. And I think they still, it's kind of turned into a bit of a, the guy who did that back in the 80s and 90s, or back in the 90s and 2000s, sorry, he kind of, Digitizer itself has kind of turned into a weird performance art thing. It's all gone a bit weird. It's cool and it's fun, but yeah, there's more things that I've learned about since discovering Twitch and like YouTube retro-y people and stuff like that. Right, well, that's not going to work, is it? But it's a bit more fixed than it was. And we're going to get a new thing. A new ZIF socket, plonk it in there, solder it up. Bosh. Copy some stuff to that. Put that in the computer over there. Bam. Don't know when I'll do that. Maybe tomorrow. Depends on how quickly I can get the ZIF socket. And yeah, thank you for watching again. If you watched again, and night night.